Thomas and Friends, Episode 22, Duke and Smudger's Story. One night, all of the narrow gauge engines were waiting for Smudger to come to the sheds. Finally, Smudger arrived. "Hey guys," said Smudger, "it's good to be back." "Yep," said Bertram, "it's good to be back." "Hey Duke," said Peter Sam, "how about you tell us a story?" Duke then frowned. Then he said, "I should probably tell you the story. I owe it to you after all these years." "What do you mean?" "Do you remember my story about when Smudger was turned into a generator?" "Yeah." "Well, that story wasn't completely true. The generator part was true, but the rest of the thing was not. Smudger was turned into a generator as a punishment. So this is what happened. Back when me and Smudger worked on the Minnesota Railway, there was another engine who worked alongside me and Smudger. His name was Stanley. Smudger and I hate Stanley, and you may wonder why. "Why do you hate him, Grandpa?" "Well, remember the part about when I said Smudger rode roughly and often derails? Well, that's not so true at all. Stanley rode roughly and often come off the rails. He wasn't rescaled properly, but he didn't seem to care one bit about crashing. Me and Smudger grown frustrated with his behavior, and we hoped that he would change, but we were wrong. So one day, he saw me and said, "Listen, bud," he said, "in the States, we don't give a dime for a few spills." "We do here," I said. Smudger was shunting trucks nearby, and he couldn't help himself but overhear the conversation. "Listen, Stanley," said Smudger, "if you keep up this attitude, it's gonna give you trouble one day." And Smudger puffed away. Me and Smudger thought it would be best to ignore Stanley, but however, we were wrong. Because one day, the manager told Stanley and Smudger to take a little goods train down to the station. Smudger was being careful with the train, but as for Stanley, he wasn't. And he derailed while getting to this destination. The controller came and asked him what happened, and he told him that Smudger pushed him off the rails on purpose, but he derailed himself. The controller blamed the accident on Smudger, and the next thing you knew it, he was turned into a generator. I felt sorry for Smudger, so I told him that I'll get him out of the punishment. One day I played a trick on Stanley, and he got punished. So the manager had Smudger removed from being a generator, and he turned Stanley into a pumping engine. And then something terrible happened. What happened? Well, after Stanley was turned into a pumping engine. Yeah, said Mighty. Go on, said Mac. He was eventually moved to another location. Cosney Holland Mine, where he failed and the mines flooded. So, you're not saying, Duke, Smudger, you're not saying we are responsible for the closure of the Minnesota Railway, said Smudger. Without the mines to mine, there was no little reason for the railway to stay opened. All of that destruction, all of that disrepair, all the accidents that caused the Minnesota Railway to close down, it happened because of me and Duke. Don't worry, Duke and Smudger, don't let it get out of hand for ya.